Hello and welcome to the Nash Tackle Off the Hook podcast. Just to make you aware, this podcast may contain some explicit/offensive language, and if that's not your thing, you don't have to listen, but I have given you a warning. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
You don't know the half of it, but anyway. I'm skating on the thinnest ice known to man.
He said, and they put a poison in the tank that just instantly kills them. He went and we've run out of it, so we cut their heads off with shovels.
Suddenly, bang! The whole boat exploded.
Take your sort of 8-inch long piranha and imagine that at 4, 5, maybe 6 feet.
I said, I've revived your dead fish. F off, he said. You haven't.
That was just humongous. It was... I couldn't believe what I was looking at.
I'm just battling this fish out in the pond. I know it's a black man. I'm saying I'll never be a naughty boy again.
If you catch fish and you return them to the water, then you are my brother.
Alex Smith, welcome back and welcome to the Nash podcast, mate. How are you?
I am good.
Good.
Yep.
You're a lot taller than the last time I've seen you, and I'm going to say you're looking a lot more lean, mate. What's been going on?
I eat loads of curly kale and sweet peas.
Curly kale and sweet peas, the key to weight loss?
It's because my neighbours, who I've been living next to for the last year, they're really good at gardening, and they just grow loads of kale and sweet pea, but they don't grow meat.
They don't grow meat, not from the ground.
No. So
No.
I've just been eating lots of veg, and I need more protein, I think.
We'll sort you out with some here, mate. We've got some flapjacks and some, what else have we got? Some sort of other chocolate-based co-op treats, mate. No expense spared.
Ooh.
What's it like being back at Nash HQ? It's been a while since you've been here. A few things have happened since.
It was very odd walking through the gate today. Because the last time I was here, I was waving goodbye to all the fellow Nash people on my last day working at Nash. I think that was like 5 years ago? Was it 5 years ago? I don't know. It was a long time ago. And it felt really odd coming in today. But also very nice. It was like I was coming back home.
Really?
It was like I was returning after a long adventure back to the Shire.
Job offers on the table, mate, I've heard.
Ooh.
Get that sold.
My YouTube channel.
Forget the YouTube JustAlex channel. See you later. I'm back. No, probably is, though. You've done a lot. We're going to talk about, as much as possible, pretty much everything from starting Carl and Alex to leaving to the Nash journey to what you're doing now, which is different, mate, I'm going to say, in a word, very different. But you are happy, and we talked about the fact that obviously that how you are now or how you're feeling, your sort of happiness, if you like, lies in what you're doing now, converting the van, travelling and foraging off the land. Would you say that's about accurate?
Kind of. Reality is I don't have a flipping clue what I'm doing. And I'm just sort of going in loads of random directions. So is this like ASMR eating?
That's just good, mate. What have you gone for? Flapjacks?
Mm.
Yeah, that's foraging off the land. They were here, mate, so that's all right.
I think I might stop eating because it will... Some people don't like the sound of saliva.
Yeah, I could cut that and have that on a very niche website, I reckon, so it's all right.
What were we talking about?
You're talking about what you're doing now, mate, and the fact that you're happy and that's your sort of drive and passion at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, I changed what I was doing. I think I've always been like relatively happy.
Yeah.
Working with my brother, working at Nash. I'm quite an easygoing person, I think, and I can get along doing anything. But I just felt like I needed to do something different.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I had been a fisherman for 15 years, and that was all I did.
Yeah.
For a long time, and I just wanted to try something new. And I just sort of
went in this path. We're going to talk about that, mate. We're going to talk about the decision, what led to it and everything. I wanted to start with those classic sort of first, if you like, Carl and Alex videos and how that got started. Because to be fair, you boys probably were at the sort of cusp of like YouTuber sort of culture, weren't you? You were at that time scale where it was just picking up properly. And you were on it very early, mate. How old were you when you did your first video?
I think I was about 6 which wasn't legal at the time because you had to be like 13 to make YouTube videos.
Disclaimer. Yeah.
But yeah, when we started fishing videos, I think that there was only a few other people making videos about fishing, and they had like maybe 1,000 subscribers, 2,000, or very, very like compared to now. Yeah, we were there quite early, I guess.
What made you go for it? What made you go, right, we're gonna video fishing? Because like you say, there's not a lot of sort of role models, etc. And it's a bit niche anyway, fishing. No, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Well, Carl and I had always been interested in filming. We got given a camera by our mum when we were really young. And we used to film ourselves riding our bikes, playing in the woods, doing what kids do. And then we discovered fishing and we got obsessed with fishing. And it was just natural that we filmed it. We didn't actually put the videos on YouTube at first. But then we saw these other YouTubers with 1,000 subscribers and we were like, I want to be like them. We also got inspired by people like fishermen outside of YouTube, people who made DVDs, like Matt Hayes DVDs and Bob Nudd DVDs that you get free with the Angling Times or whatever.
Yeah, classics.
And we just saw that. We're like, one day we're going to be like them. Yeah, so we started putting them on YouTube. I can't really describe it exactly how it was because I can't really remember because I was very small. And when you're young, like you can't really remember it. Yeah.
Your sort of angling, would you say it was pretty textbook in terms of you started sort of your basic course fishing and then progressed through? Or was there any particular sort of aspect which you went in or sort of role model that you had? Maybe your dad or another family member who had a certain style of angling that they used to do or anything like that?
We didn't have any family who fished. It was just Carl and I sort of trying to learn by ourselves. So the way we started was going to a little pond in the woods and we were fishing for roach. So we actually started very like, I think most people start, they start with roach and rudd and perch at a little pond. And then, of course, you always want to catch bigger and better. And then it just slowly progressed into carp fishing. And then the carp fishing really gripped us because carp are big and exciting and they pull hard. Yeah, and yeah, that's kind of what we started with.
How did it go down in terms of you angling, the YouTube channel, and sort of friends, school colleagues and things like that? Was it like, what are you boys doing? Was it, this is a weird hobby, or was it pretty accepted and loads of people sort of were like, fair play?
Yeah, people didn't get the whole fishing thing.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely at school, people would ask what I did and I'd say fishing and they would like, why? Do you eat them? I was like, no. Why? What's the point? Which is a fair question.
Yeah.
Because like, catch a fish, put it back. What's the point in that? But I'd tell them, you play football, don't you? And they'd say, yeah. And I say, so you just kick a ball in the goal and then take the ball out the goal and then kick it back in the goal. And then it just sounds like the same thing, really. Sounds pretty pointless. It's like everything in life. It's all pointless. But we do it to keep ourselves entertained.
Yeah. Kill some time.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but it was pretty much, I don't know, that perception wasn't great with regard. They didn't want to go and try fishing after seeing you guys on some video.
I don't think the videos I made inspired them to go fishing. I think maybe they would be interested in catching a shark or an alligator gar or something big like that. But no, they just thought fishing was... In fact, I remember quite clearly one of my best friends at school, he just told me that it was an old man's sport, and he asked me, like, why'd you do it?
That's a fair... I'd say that's a pretty generalised sort of, opinion that a lot of majority of society have, especially if they haven't tried it. It's a bit of a stereotype, if you like. For you, why do you think that you guys naturally were drawn to it? As you said, you've got no influences family-wise, as opposed to, I don't know, football, rugby, tennis, cricket, or another sport.
Yeah, well, I did actually I tried lots of sports. I was actually quite keen with football and cricket. I really enjoyed cricket, hitting the ball and throwing it at the sticks. That was good fun. But then I discovered fishing, and it certainly just took over. Like, it was way better than all those other, for me at least. It was way more exciting. And I think it's probably because both Carl and I are pretty introverted, and we didn't have many friends, and we didn't really like socializing or being with other people.
Right.
We weren't like fun kids, really. We just wanted some peace and quiet. And fishing, you can get that. And you can get for 12 hours straight, sat by a lake, no one to bother you. Yeah, I think it was the quietness, and I used to love going to the lake and in the spring when all the plants were growing and everything was looking all nice, and being out in nature.
Yeah, I like that. What did your family think about all that? About the fact you were filming it, that you were going, because as you say, it's pretty out of left field. Nobody's really done it, and you guys have decided, right, this is us, and we're going to film it.
I think our parents are pretty chill. They are very understanding, and they just said, just do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah,
I don't think they really thought much. I think maybe they wondered, like, maybe you should do something good with your time, but they didn't tell us that.
Yeah. They were quite happy to let you go.
Yeah, they just let us do it. Yeah, it was very kind of them.
Those early years, those early sort of videos and your early memories, if you like, of fishing, what stands out capture-wise, story-wise? Is there anything that's really prominent?
Yeah, I think, so there's this fishery near where I live, called Tanyard Fishery.
That's infamous with you boys, isn't it?
And there's these coarse lakes,
yeah,
which are quite easy. And then you got the specimen lakes, they got big fish. And the moment we jumped from fishing coarse lakes to fishing the specimen lakes, that was a big moment in my fishing life, because if you go on the specimen lakes, you're suddenly tackling something a lot harder and a lot bigger fish. And yeah, I just remember it's feeling like a quest. And that's why we made some videos called Quest for a 20-pound carp, because it felt like this mission and this adventure where Carl and Alex were going to try and catch a 20-pound carp. And I remember that when I finally caught a 20-pound carp, that was the best thing ever. Wow. I look back on it now, I'm like, it was just a fish. But at the time, it felt so incredible.
Everything that went into it, basically.
Yeah, which wasn't even that much. We just fished. We just fished for 4 nights. But when you're a kid, it felt really good. Catching the first 20-pound carp was a big moment. And then all the following years after that, where we would target a certain water, and fish it for like a year, and then finally catch the big fish. I remember all those things. I don't think I'll ever forget those, like the 40-pound carp in the park lake. Yeah. That was incredible. And then the big mirror from this massive reservoir. That was another.
Was that Reservoir Diaries? That one.
Yeah, we made a film called Reservoir Diaries, and that was another one of those great, incredible captures, or at least it felt like that.
Talk to me about those, and the lead up to those. What sort of tactically, what sort of headspace were you two at? Because you've obviously got each other to bounce ideas off. You've got sort of a wealth of information by this time with regards to not only DVDs but magazines and other influences, but also just you out there angling. Was there any thought to how you were going to go out there and sort of end the video and hopefully catch the big one or whatever the target was at the end? Or was it a case of just time and go in there and keep filming and it'll happen?
I think it was all just fueled by mine and Carl's obsession with going fishing again and again. Like we didn't think up any special tactics, or we didn't like plan anything like special. We just kept on going back because it just felt like the best thing to do. So I was at college at that time, and I was doing fishery management course, which was only 3 days a week. And that was great because I just went fishing the rest of the time. And I would just leave college, go to the reservoir, fish the night, then go back to college, then go back to the res at night. And We just fished an awful lot, like a crazy amount, and that's the only thing which we sort of, that's what made it happen.
Yeah.
Just constantly returning. Even if we didn't catch, we'd just go back, and then we'd catch another couple of small ones, and then we'd go back, and then we just kept doing that until it happened.
How did that go? You're not only just fishing it, because there's obviously the passion and sort of enthusiasm you have for fishing, but you've got to couple that with the fact that you're documenting it as well. How did the whole camera side of documenting what's going on, how was that organised, or how did that play into
how did we film the adventure?
Yeah. So what were you on? Little camera, little handheld job? What was it?
So we did lots of the action of the movie was done on just like run and gun filming. Like we didn't really do much cinematic stuff with that. We'd just have a camera with us at all times when we were fishing. So whenever something happened, we would document it. And then we would do lots of these cinematic cut-ins, like with the proper camera and the proper lens. We'd do that sort of after or at a different time. So we'd get like the nice looking stuff to like cut in. And then we'd do like, we just always had a camera on us. And it didn't matter what camera it was. Some of it was on our iPhone, some of it was on GoPro or...
And where did all this like filming and stuff, like it just basically learnt on the job? There's no sort of research in that or sort of photography courses or anything like that. It's just basically you guys being pretty tech savvy and getting out there and doing it.
Yeah, I think Carl was a lot more tech savvy. So Carl learned a lot, and then he used to pass information on to me. That's how lots of it worked. So yeah, Carl was very good at learning things by himself, and he would research how to film a time lapse, for example, how to shoot a time lapse, and then he'd teach me, and then I would know how to do a time lapse. I'm not very tech savvy.
Fair. Well, how did the organisation of the actual shoot go? Was it a case of Carl coming up with the themes, or did you both think about where you wanted to go and what you wanted to do, or how did that all play out? Because obviously I'm thinking here, you're two relatively young lads, you're enjoying your fishing, as naturally any angler would. They progress to bigger fish, maybe more difficult venues, maybe a bit, but they're not filming that. They're just going through sort of normally enjoying the experience.
Carl and I have a weird problem. And the problem is, when we do something that we like to do, whatever it may be, we feel the need to document it. Like we just, for example, I don't like the idea of doing something and then it just being gone in the past and and it just being lost. And we film stuff so that we make sure we capture things on film so that it's still there.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why we film, and we don't just go fishing. Like the fishing was the obsession, then the filming was so that we could hold on to those memories and those fishing adventures forever.
So it makes them timeless. It's like your archive. Like some people go through their Instagram and see like whatever. For you, those films are that.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I just can't. I don't like doing things. I don't like putting loads of effort into something for it just to be gone. Like that's why when I eat nice food, I take a photo of it or I film the food, because I don't know. I think lots of people are like that, but maybe not to the extent of like filming 6 months fishing at one lake.
Yeah, maybe not to that extreme, but I get it in a way. For you, your worst nightmare would be going fishing without a camera.
Imagine
having a great session.
You catch the biggest fish in the lake and it's not documented. It's just scary. It's and I think Carl feels the same. Like,
yeah,
you want those things to be like there forever. I mean, that's just how I feel, and Carl feels about it. But yeah, I guess most people, they just do that, go fishing for fun, right?
I think it's levels, isn't it? As you said there, maybe not everybody would dedicate 6 months of their lives and a full sort of camera operation to it, but most people have an Instagram or a Facebook where if they catch something, they will put it on there.
See, that's true, yeah. Most fishermen do it. Most fishermen do it to an extent, but maybe we went a bit over the top and filmed everything.
How was camera, like being in front of camera? Because naturally, and you said it earlier, both of you are relatively introverted, aren't you? You're not. You're sort of. I wouldn't put you as sort of the most outspoken of individuals, especially in a social setting. But on camera, the way that you both present and the way that you have sort of chemistry between each other when you're working on camera is you wouldn't marry the two. I wouldn't think. Did it come quite naturally, or
no? It didn't. Or at least it doesn't feel like it did. I felt for years I didn't like presenting. I really didn't like it, and being in front of any camera was scary. Was like, oh, I'm going to mess up my words, and people are going to think I'm stupid. And I think we both improved a lot, but it's only because we did it so much. Like, it definitely wasn't natural. But like, I think even if you're an introvert, it's still not impossible to be in front of a camera because it's just you and the camera. It's not. It's like it's very different. It's also very different when someone else is filming. Like now that you're filming me, it's more scary for me because it's your camera. If I'm just sat in this room with my own camera, I don't get scared anymore, and I can just relax, and it's good. But that camera, that's scary.
Scares the life out of you.
Yeah. So yeah, presenting is still really hard, and you have to. I don't know. I just forget. You just gotta pretend that it's not there and relax. Which is really hard to do. I think presenting is definitely the hardest skill that I've had to learn.
Yeah, I'll give you that. It's not easy, especially if you're doing,
Still got a long way to go.
Just another 3 hours in the studio with me. It'll be fine. Those early experiences, you're young. You've said there with regards
young
to campaigns,
and dumb.
You're doing it. It's going out there, and obviously the channel itself is sort of growing traction. How this is going to sound strange. How did you think that it would go? Was it just literally there for your own benefit to document and you weren't really bothered, or was there some inkling of trying to grow the channel to, I don't know, whatever it was? There's obviously something in there.
Carl has a business brain.
Yeah.
I had a fishing brain. So the reason I kept doing the YouTube channel was because I loved fishing and I just wanted to go fishing as much as possible. That was the thing that kept me there. Growing, like I wasn't trying to grow the channel really. I was trying to just keep catching fish. Carl, with the business brain, was thinking like this could turn into something which like actually earns us a living, and then we can do this full time.
What age is that he's thinking this? Do you think?
Oh, probably like 7. No, probably not 7. I think he's always thought like that.
Has he?
He's really clever.
But for you're literally just enjoying your fishing.
I was just doing it because it was a really fun thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, Carl also obviously, Carl was obsessed with fishing too, but he thinks a lot about the future. He thinks like, and he sometimes, he just plans very far ahead, I think.
Right.
And he could see, even from quite early, that the YouTube channel could be something that actually
has legs.
Like, and could earn us a living. But I didn't think about that ever, I don't think.
You just enjoying yourself.
But I guess that's why like it worked, because I was really obsessed with fishing, just focusing on the fishing thing. Carl was interested in the business side of it and growing a business. Put them together, you got a fishing channel.
Yeah, boy, did you have a fishing channel.
Yeah. And that's, I think, why we worked together. We could not have done that on our own, really. No. I definitely couldn't, because I wouldn't have turned it into a business. I would have just gone fishing, and maybe I would have filmed it, but I wouldn't have been able to actually grow a business.
Make it something business. Yeah, I get it. You talked there about you and your sort of circumstance outside of the channel. You did a fishery management course. Obviously, fishing again, that whole outdoorsy side is in there in terms of your qualifications. How did that play out? Did you see that through? Did you go down other avenues, sort of educationally, or was it a case of, I don't know, just the channel taking over and sort of going down that path and leaving everything else aside?
I wasn't interested in school in anything. All I wanted to do was go fishing. I look back now and I'm actually like, I wish I did pay a little bit more attention, especially in science lessons, because you do learn some valuable
Like
stuff.
what? What you talking about? Give me an example.
Like in a science lesson, you learn about, like in chemistry, you learn about how chemicals work together and react. And the other day, I was making a knife, and I had to understand how the metals were reacting in certain heat. And I was like, damn, if I just listened to my son, and then it's the same thing where I was doing some electrics in my van, and I was trying to wire up positive to negative, trying to not blow everything up. And I was just thought, damn, I wish I'd listened in physics. Yeah, I was not interested in school because I was obsessed with fishing and I just wanted to do that. And then after school, I was like, what should I do next? Because in class 10, you then have to do something else, like A levels or B something. You have to do something.
Well, yeah.
And I didn't have a clue what to do. And it wasn't actually me who made my decision for what I did at college. My mum just sent me a message one day saying, hey, there's a fishery management course. Maybe you'll be interested. And I was like, yeah, why not? I'll give it a go. My view was that as long as I've got time other than that to go fishing and make videos with Carl, then I'll do it. And it was only 3 days a week, so that was great. I was just not interested in anything else apart from fishing and making videos with my bro.
Quite go with the flow, aren't you? Like,
I think I'm quite easygoing.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. Well, I don't think if your mum would have put you on that fishery management course or told you, you would just carried on doing whatever, wouldn't you?
I didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
Like what to do really. I needed someone else to put something in for me. Yeah.
And that period of time after sort of your fishery management course, did you have any inkling as to what you wanted to do ultimately with it? Because I know that Carl obviously, and he's coming in a few weeks, so you can get your digs in early, mate. So before he's on, but he obviously went down a slightly different route and went into sort of work. For you, was there any thought of career, or was it just enjoy your fishing and go with the flow and see where it takes you?
There was actually,
here we go.
I was at college one day, and we went around the class. I think we were introducing ourselves on one of the first days of college, and everybody would stand up and say, "My name's Bob, and I am here because I like fish and I want to learn about fishery management. And in my spare time, in my other time, I have a part-time job doing window cleaning or whatever." And then we'd go around and everyone would stand up and say, and everyone else had part-time jobs. And then I felt really bad because I had to stand up and say, "My name's Alex. I'm here because I really like fish. And I go fishing in my spare time and I don't have a part-time job." So I felt really bad. I was like, I need to get a job. So I applied, I think that day or maybe the next day, I applied for a job at the local garden centre.
Right.
So I did. That was the point, I think, where I was like, I need to get a job. I need to earn some money.
You went to the garden centre?
Yeah, I went to the garden centre, looked at all the cacti, and I thought, yeah, I could water them.
And you got a job, a part-time job at the garden centre?
No, I didn't get the job.
You didn't get the job?
Well, I gave them my CV, and they looked at it, and all I could write was fisherman. I didn't have anything to write on it. There was nothing I could like.
How old are you? Let a kid off. Do you know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah, I just wanted some money, really. But yeah, so I didn't get that job at the garden centre. And about a week later, so Carl was working at Nash at this time, and
right, so he was already at Nash.
He was at Nash, and I was still looking for more jobs at other places. And
what sort of work?
Me, like
anything,
I just wanted a job that could pay for the fishing because I was getting older now and I needed to, pay for things, new fishing stuff. And
it was still off. What age is this? Give me a rough out.
I don't remember. 17.
So yeah, 17, 18. At this stage, it's all still fishing. There's not going out, women, etc. That whole stuff that comes in teenage years.
No, I was not. I didn't. No interest in me whatsoever. That came a bit later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just super keen fisherman. Yeah. Carl came back from work one day and he said, "Alan's looking for someone to do like some part-time social media stuff. He wants to give you a part-time job." And I was like, "Woo!" And I took that instantly. And then from then on, it was just working at Nash.
Talk to me about Nash. So obviously Carl's been there. You've come in first day. What was it like? Because you haven't worked anywhere. You've got no experience realistically of like industry. You've come into Nash HQ. Can you remember it?
Yeah, I remember. I walked into the Nash office covered in fish slime because I'd just been fishing at some lakes nearby, and Alan just said, "Here's your contract. Do you want to work here, making videos on the media team?" And I was like, "Yeah, cool." It was really chilled. It was very
chilled.
Yeah, very
Classic Al.
Yeah.
What was your perception of Al? Because you'd have known him from sort of their media.
Yeah,
Nash's media at the time.
I'd looked up to him massively, like, in all the YouTube videos on the Nash channel. Yeah, he was like the man. So it was I was really scared as well, like meeting Alan and everyone from Nash. Yeah, because like these are the people I look up to.
And you got started social media, you said, was it?
Yeah, I did. I did a few months where I was doing some of the social media for the Nash Instagram, which was only like a day a week or 2 days a week. And then I started full-time on the media team. And I quit college halfway through. So I didn't end up getting my fishery management qualification, unfortunately. But yeah, started full-time work and then did that for 4 years. 4 years? 3 years? I don't know.
3 or 4 years, wasn't it? What were your experiences here in terms of work, people, personnel, trips? There's loads that you did in this time, but what, again, resonates with you?
It was kind of surreal. My first full-time job, working around all these people who had the same interests as me. Like, I was working in the fishing industry.
Yeah.
How the heck did that happen? That's what like fishermen dream of, working around people like Alan and Tom Foreman from Tom's Viral and all these people. Yeah, it was kind of surreal. I also didn't have anything else to compare it to because I'd never had a different job. So this was just my first job. So a lot of it just kind of felt, so is this what a job's like? I got nothing else to compare it to. And then some of it was very like just, whoa, this is crazy. I'm today my work is filming Alan catch carp from a lake, and then after he finished fishing, I could have a fish as well and catch some fish myself. And it was just it was pretty crazy. I still can't quite believe how that happened. Mad.
What was your filming? Your first day's filming when you had to film out? Do you remember it? Where were you?
I don't think I remember that much.
I'll tell him that.
I remember my first few days were really scary.
Yeah?
Yeah, just like nerve-wracking, meeting all the new people and trying not to get in anybody's way.
Everyone pretty friendly though? Like it's quite a nice feel, was it? I don't know. You just give me no.
That was just yeah, I didn't mean that.
Who was come on.
No, it was all good. I think everyone was lovely at Nash. And I really enjoyed my time here.
I'm not having a political statement. You gave me a little look there.
Nothing wrong with anyone or anything.
Who was it? Somebody must have. Like, you're working in close proximity with a bunch of lads. There must have been something.
I genuinely don't think there was. No, I did. Apart from Alan giving us loads of work to do, which was his right to do that because I was working for him. Apart from that, nothing really annoyed me. I don't remember getting into any sort of angriness with anyone.
Yeah.
Maybe, okay, no. Okay, I'll go into the details. So I finished a video once. I had edited a video, which took me quite a while. Worked really hard. And I sent it to all the lads to check it through.
Yeah.
And they didn't think it was so good. And they said it.
Directly?
Pretty much. And it did hurt my feelings quite a lot because I'd put my heart and soul into this edit and they didn't enjoy it or they didn't think it was very good.
Big video?
It ended up doing quite well, actually.
Oh, so it went out, did it?
Yeah, it went out, yeah.
Re-edited or in the same
I think
way?
I redid some bits, but pretty much the same, yeah. But yeah, people, yeah. Anyway, no, it just hurt my feelings a bit.
Yeah.
You know, you put everything into something, and then so. But that wasn't them. That was just because people have opinions, and they didn't think it was very good.
I always think that must be difficult because obviously I edit these, they get shown to people, but there's not a lot of creativity that I could possibly do with the camera work.
I guess you just like switch between the angles, right?
You've nailed my job
and then
in one here,
put
mate.
the audio underneath.
Okay, mate, let's not make it that simple. Let's make it seem really complicated for people. It's really hard.
All those buttons look really complicated, though.
Yeah, they look really complicated. You just press one of them. It turns red. But from your point of view, there's a lot of different creative elements with regards to those type of in-session videos. And as you said, there's an office full of people in every situation which have different views and different sort of creative minds. So you're not going to please everybody. And it's sort of a bit of a cornerstone of your growing up that people are going to have that feedback, isn't they? Everyone
Yeah,
has
the
it.
whole creative thing is tricky sometimes. And I edit a video and I look at it and I think that's pretty good. And then the next day I'll look at it with a slightly different mind and it doesn't look so good. It's really hard to know, like, is this actually good? Because it's a creative thing, there isn't actually a right or wrong, and you've got to just kind of make a judgment on it.
Yeah.
And then obviously you show it to other people and they think different things because everyone has a different view on creative
Of course they do.
stuff. Yeah, it's kind of one of the harder things I think about making videos.
Was it harder in this environment in Nash with more people than it was with just Carl?
Oh, it was way easier with Carl
Yeah.
because there's two of us, two people's opinions. We'd obviously get in arguments about it, but
Would you?
yeah, less people to decide on the final thing makes it easier.
Yeah, of course.
And then now I work on my own.
Even
I don't have anyone to show it to, so I can just
straight out, no edits.
But there is something to be said for like other people's opinions and getting people to check through and say this bit's good, this bit's bad, because you can have lots of people give you input. You can then tweak things to make it better, and you end up with a better result. But when you just do it on your own and you just edit something and put it out, there's things you miss. Like for example, there might be a spelling mistake, or there might be an edit transition which doesn't look so good and you didn't spot it. And then you might not end up with such a good end result. But it's quite nice not having to show my videos and get it checked by people first.
Do you enjoy that complete like creative freedom and license? Yeah.
Very, yeah, I really enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier, but also you're then relying on your own, like you've got to trust your own eyes and believe that it's good. And you got to work hard to make it good because no one's going to tell you, no one's there to tell you to change things. You got to see them yourself, I guess.
Your time at Nash, what do you think Nash, if anything, taught you or developed within yourself? This could be, it's not necessarily just the sort of camera skills, but you as a person, obviously you're talking about quite a key period in anybody's life, 3 to sort of 4 years, if you like, going into sort of your 20s. What did you take from it?
I guess I learned how to work with people. Like I learned how to be in a work environment. Being in an office with all these people, it taught me social skills. I learned how to make tea
And coffee.
Dan used to make me the best coffee.
Yeah?
Yeah. He put like caramel stuff in it. Oh, so good.
That's proper, that is. You didn't do that now.
No?
Standards have slipped, mate. Now he's big head honcho, mate. He's getting the coffee made for him, mate.
What else did Nash teach me? It taught me to work hard or reasonably hard because I had to had to work hard to get videos edited for a deadline, and yeah.
Do you feel the pressure of that? I spoke to a few lads about this, probably off camera, maybe even on camera. I can't really remember, but Al sets a pretty ridiculous standard in terms of like the amount of hours work running around, you had a conversation this morning about getting it ridiculously early, that sort of stuff. Did you feel the pressure of having to sort of work to that extent to sort of prove yourself or not?
I mean, Alan is like a crazy worker. I never could understand how he gets up at 2 a.m. and replies to emails and then goes off and does a million other things in a day. And yeah, I mean, I really looked up to his work ethic, but I also kind of knew that I couldn't do that. I just worked. I mean, on my contract it said 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. So I tried to do that. Maybe I'd do some more than that. Weekends and evenings and stuff, just to put a bit more extra effort in to get some work done. But do I sound like I don't work hard?
No, not at all. Not at all, mate. I know you work hard. Look at the amount of content you've put out. Do you know what I mean? There's no two ways about that.
I think I did enough work. Yeah. Could always have done more. Could have done less.
In terms of other influence from Nash, angling. What did you pick up from being in and around an office? And it's fair to say that now and back then, everybody is an angler, mate, aren't they? I definitely improved my fishing skills whilst hanging out with all these people in the office, because you go into the office, you'd talk about fishing, and you'd talk about fishing every day. There'd always be some fishing conversations, and then also on the film shoots, like when you'd film a fishing trip, Alan surface fishing, you'd be there behind the camera, and also watching him fish. You'd take things in as you watched. So yeah, I learned lots about fishing. What do you think you learned specifically?
I don't really know. Just little things which you don't really even think about. They're just little. I saw the way that Alan twitched his line to sink it, or he put some Vaseline on his line. I don't know, like little things,
finer details.
Just notice. Yeah,
it's fair to say, like. And I fished with you, it'd be quite a while back now when we were last out fishing and filming, but you have a very similar sort of, and this might be just for filming, but very similar sort of way of fishing with regards to how you like a lot of like moving around, mobile, getting on fish. You're not really weighed down with rigs and a lot of kit and that style of stuff. You're very mobile. A lot of free lining, bread bombs, that style of fishing, as well as being able to do the other style of fishing. But that's very much sort of you guys. Was that always the case, or was it because a lot of the media you're saying when you're growing up here that you're watching DVDs and etc. You're talking about a different style, maybe a more kitted out free rods on a spot, that type of angling, whereas. Definitely you, Al, everybody, it's about getting on fish. You might have a lot of kit, but you won't have a lot of kit actually on you. You'll fish relatively simply, but you'll sort of prioritise location. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think things which me and Alan share in common are impatience. And yeah, we just get bored easily, I think. And so we feel the need to go chase the fish down. We don't want to wait for them to come to us. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and Carl's quite like that as well. It's just impatience, I think.
Yeah.
We don't like waiting for things. That's it.
No, fair. I like it. And you, within your time at Nash as well, were able to sort of continue the growth of what was already at this time a successful channel, Carl and Alex Fishing. How did that trade off? Was that always pretty met with sort of, I don't know, like happiness and sort of go for it, boys? Or was it ever like, well, geez, boys, you're off doing that, like, but we need some help doing this extra project or whatever? Talk to me about that.
I never really knew what the Nash people thought of our own thing.
Right.
I mean, I know that that's what got us the jobs here at Nash, because people at Nash saw the videos and then they were like, we want them to do our media for us. But I don't know whether... Yeah, I don't really know what they thought, whether they were thinking, just stop doing your stuff, do more of our media. I'm not really sure. And it was hard to balance it, though, because we obviously were making Nash TV videos 5 days a week and then trying to make our YouTube channel on our weekends.
Yeah.
And that's how we did it for a few years. They definitely gave us a bit more time. Like Nash gave us, they understood that our videos were also inspiring people to fish, and they were good for the fishing industry, and so they, Alan definitely let us
saw value in it.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you guys on I can't remember which DVD it was, but you were on one of the Nash DVDs.
When I was really small.
Early doors, mate.
Yeah.
I think you were on a train, weren't you? You said you saw a lake from a train.
Oh, yeah, that was Carl. Yeah, he was on
Carl?
Yeah, that's it.
I remember seeing you guys on that DVD. What was it like filming for Nash, having sort of been influenced by the DVD culture in your tackle shop? Weird?
Yeah, it was very strange seeing myself on this DVD that I used to pick up in the tackle shop. Yeah, it was really odd. Strange feeling, but also felt a bit like a dream. Like, whoa, we've made it!
We've done, Mum. I've made it.
I'm on the
Mum.
Nash DVD. Yeah, it felt crazy. Yeah, of course.
Your parents proud of, like, at this stage of you sort of converting something that was maybe not your textbook line of work into a fully fledged sort of career?
Yeah, I think they're mega proud. Yeah.
Fair play. No words of your mum and dad sort of, I don't know, saying get a proper job or whatever else?
My dad definitely said that a lot, but in a jokey way, I think. No, that's one thing that I'm always very grateful for, and it's parents who are they just let us do our thing, and they are happy for us when we achieve good things. So that's good. You've
done real well, boys, to be fair. What about the lads here? Did you gain a lot of sort of camera, if you like, skills and sort of knowledge from the team here? I'm trying to think who was in the media team at the time. Ollie, yeah.
Ollie, Dan. Learned an awful lot from both of them. Ollie's photography and filming is really, really good. And I remember one of my first weeks of work at Nash, we were in the product studio filming some products, and he showed me loads of things which I still remember now and use the techniques that he showed me. And Ollie and Dan, who wasn't Carl, learnt a lot from all three of them. Very, very useful. I learnt loads of what I know now about filming and editing. Yeah, I learnt from them.
Fair, good team. Tight, small team, but a good team. Fishing. Obviously, there is, in this time at Nash, opportunities to fish. There's a church lake back here, there's a lake but there's also, while you're here and working, no doubt times, as you said before, on a shoot where you're able to maybe at the end of it go and get a bit of your own fishing. What did that look like at the time outside of the Carl and Alex channel filming, if you like? Where did you target anywhere locally? Did you go on Chigborough, for example? Did you go on to up Bayswater? Did you fish the church?
Like whilst I was working at Nash, where did I fish?
Yeah.
I used to go to Chigborough quite a lot after work because that was quite close by, and I really liked fishing right in the edge where you could see the fish and you could put a handful of pellet down and lower in a rig and watch it all happen. Yeah, I did that quite a lot. I got lucky enough to fish on Church Lake with Carl for a week, which was the most incredible fishing trip ever.
Yeah?
Like 27 fish up to 44. It was so much fun.
That's a great week on Church.
Yeah, it was really, really prolific. I think it was in June. Yeah, it was really good.
That is a good week, mate. That is.
Yeah, whilst I was at Nash, I did so much fishing because we were always surrounded by fish and water.
Yeah.
It was
up the church session. You had 27 fish. You said all of them pretty much as you'd expect in terms of church fishing, in the edge or on firm spots.
Yeah.
A little bit of bait, and then nothing spectacular and out the bag.
No, we just put a rig on a spot, a nice firm spot in the gap in a weed, and we would wait for it to go off. And it was on fire. The fish were just feeding really hard.
Yeah, that is a good week.
It was just a really good week's fishing, yeah.
Was that your PB at the time, £44?
Carl caught that one. I had a 38, I think, which was... No, because I caught a 40-pounder at a park lake before that.
Okay, the Park Lake 40.
Yeah, it was a good session, though. Crazy session.
Some good angling, mate.
Yeah.
at this stage, well, any stage really, rig-wise for you guys, it's never really seemed to sort of be something that you guys really concern yourself about, is it? It's quite simple fishing a lot of the time, which I think is quite refreshing, especially like in the modern day scene, maybe the marketing scene. There is a lot put on rigs with regards to you need to use this rig or that rig or whatever it is. For you guys, it was always pretty simple, knotless knots, shot, hook and go.
I never paid much attention to my rigs because I didn't believe that it made much difference.
Yeah.
Just make sure that you got a sharp hook on a knotless knot, put it on the right spot where the fish are. I put way more effort into putting it where the fish were than any effort into my rigs. I had very simple rigs, and it was very nice because I could tie them very quickly, and I didn't have to think about that. I knew that my rig worked, and all I had to do was find where the feeding fish were and hunt them down.
Nice. Other anglers that were around at Nash, did you see any of the other sort of consultants or anything as they were around in your time? Or was it mainly that team and Al and the likes of that you spent your time with?
Yeah, I think it was just mainly the media team.
Yeah.
Media team and Alan.
Foreign adventures?
Oh, just before I left, I went on a really fun filming trip in France with Steve Briggs. Steve Briggs was one of my favourite blokes. Him and Joan.
Just a beautiful bloke, isn't he?
Yeah, and Joan would always cook us really nice food when we were on the shoots.
Where'd you go with Steve?
We went to this lake in, I can't remember, in France, middle of France.
Just bang in the middle.
I can't remember exactly, but we drove down there in convoy, met up with him, and we filmed the fishing session. And I just remember it being really chilled and so easy to film because Steve is such a easygoing person and he's such a nice guy. And he caught loads of fish as usual, and it was just really fun. Yeah, that was one of my favourite foreign adventures whilst working at Nash.
I always think with Briggsy, he's been in a fair few times in the podcast studio. He's so understated, but he's caught everything, hasn't he? He has caught
he's a fishing machine.
Ridiculous amount of big fish. Did anything blow your mind with Steve, or he just makes it look so easy?
Yeah, I think what I really saw when we fished with Steve was that the way he would just get on the boat, drop his rig, get back to shore, put his rod down. He did the whole thing so smoothly. You could just tell that he'd done it millions of times before, and he was just like, he's a trained fisherman. He was. You could see how experienced he was, and he was so comfortable fishing in, like, especially with the boat. He did that really well. When I get in a boat, when I try and fish from a boat, I always stumble, feel like I'm going to fall in, and then I turn the motor on and I'm in reverse by accident, and then I have to figure out, and then I might get electrocuted by the battery, and then it's not fun.
I'm with you, mate.
But then when I watch Steve, I'm like, damn, he's smooth.
Yeah, smooth operator. In terms of you getting rods out on that trip, did you get any rods out? Did you fish?
I caught a pike on a lure.
You see, this is the multi-species,
And that was
stuff
it.
coming in.
But yes, I did. I'd always have a fishing rod with me.
Would you?
Yeah.
You did a couple of socials, didn't you? Did you do one social too?
I never went to any of the socials.
Was it Carl then?
Carl got to go to the socials and I didn't.
Why is that?
Because I wasn't social enough.
Oh, yeah, fair.
I don't know.
Leave him at home.
I don't know.
Get editing, boy.
I think it's because I was back home editing, or they only had a certain number of spaces to go on the social trips.
Yeah.
But it's all right. I can deal with that.
What's the biggest edit you had to do?
Eurobanks.
You edited
4.
Eurobanks.
Yeah. Number 4, the one which wasn't great. It just took ages, and there was so much footage and so much stuff. So imagine this. You got I'm trying to think of a good analogy. You just spilt 1 billion Skittles on the floor of your kitchen. You know, Skittles are sweets.
I mean, 1 billion Skittles is a lot.
Yeah, 1 billion Skittles. Okay, 1 million Skittles. And they all go down all the little crevices and behind the cabinet. And you've got to collect them all up and put them into the packet again. That's like a big video edit. You got hundreds and thousands of shots, all which are just here, there, and everywhere on all the different SD cards and cameras. And you've got to combine it all into this thing, which makes sense.
I'd rather be Ollie and Alan just giving you the cards.
Yeah.
Saying, yeah, mate, get that. How long did it take you?
Oh, it must have taken like 2 months. But you know why? It could have taken me less time. But I did an awful lot of procrastinating. And procrastinating, that was it, really.
What was the method of procrastination? What got in the way?
I don't know, looking at pigeons out the window. Because when you're so deep into an edit where nothing makes sense and it's just so mundane, you're just dragging shots into a timeline and you're just trying to make sense of this story, you find the pigeons more entertaining.
Did those cards come to you as, right, we're back, here's the cards, enjoy the edit? Or did they come back with, right, we've been here, we've caught this, then we went to that, like a story?
Yeah. Luckily, Ollie and Alan did give us some sort of brief and right. Like, this was the story, this is what we did. Yeah, I'm making it sound worse than it was, actually.
No, it's just interesting to know because it is a massive project, and I can only imagine the amount.
Yeah, no, they gave us, they told us their story of their trip and where they went and all the what was on each SD card.
Okay,
yeah, it wasn't as bad as I'm making it sound, but it still was lots of footage to combine and try and make sense of.
A lot of drum and bass car shots, yeah.
Yeah, lots of drum and bass music, which is quite fun to edit to because it's quick and you keep cutting and
yeah.
I like that music anyway, so it was quite nice. Yeah, but it was just really long, and no, it wasn't that fun to edit.
That's fair, mate. Editing, I think, it's tough. At the best of
just the time that it takes, really.
For you. And you referenced drum and bass there, the sort of antics, social side, because everybody works hard, but they play hard as well. Did that sort of, I don't know, did that come as a bit of a shock to you, a bit of an eye-opener, or did you get involved in that at all, or were you sort of, I don't know.
What, the Nash party scene?
The party scene, the decks are out on the church lake, all that side
I remember
stuff.
one Christmas party, I was on the vinyl in the old party house. That was good fun.
I can only imagine the extent of your DJing experience prior to that. Would have been extensive, mate. I'm ready. I'm ready, boys.
Yeah. No, it's good. I like how chilled out everyone at Nash's, and they sure know how to party. And it was good fun. Yeah.
Probably for a little bit of context, at this time when you're working for Nash, the Carl and Alex Fishing Channel, what are we talking? Where are you at growth-wise with that? Is it massive at this stage? It's pretty big as you're getting towards the end of it. But what are we talking subscriber-wise?
I think we had about 80,000 people, which is like a big festival of people. That's how I like to picture it.
Is that Wembley?
Like, do you know Boomtown Festival?
Yeah.
It's like that many people.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
For you, were you recognised from your YouTube channel? Were you recognised more for your Nash work? Was that happening in sort of when you were out and about, supermarket, living the dream, fishing?
Yeah, I mean, it happened when our channel was that size. It happens quite a lot more now, because I guess more people have seen us over the years. Yeah, in the supermarket, I'll be picking up my olive oil and some fellow fishermen will come over and talk to me about fishing, and it's really nice.
You like it? I was going to say, how'd you react to that?
I think it's super nice because you get to talk to someone and not feel so lonely. But I just wonder how it must be for people like Harry Potter.
Oh, mate, must be
not Harry Potter. What? Rupert Grint.
You mean
Rupert?
Daniel Radcliffe?
Oh my God!
You should call him Rupert, mate.
Rupert Grint was the actor who acted.
I don't know who Rupert Grint was, mate.
No, Rupert Grint acted as the ginger guy.
Ron Weasley.
Ron Weasley, yeah.
Right, I don't know.
All I was trying to say was I can't imagine how it must be to be someone actually famous because like I get noticed in the street like once or twice a week if I'm out and about. But for them, they must not be able to go anywhere without being like mobbed by people.
It must be a nightmare.
And it must be, yeah, I don't know. It might not be nice on that level. But currently, with a YouTube channel as big as Carl and mine and Carl's, it was quite nice.
Yeah.
Getting recognised and seeing people out and about. It was quite cool.
I like it. For you, and this is probably a bit of a sort of an interesting time. Obviously, over the Nash years, your channel that you were doing on the weekends, as you said, as an additional, was a lot of work, but it was growing and you were diversifying in terms of content. Instead of it being quite carp dominant, you were going into a lot more sort of lure fishing, sea fishing. Different aspects were coming into the channel. Was that just two lads wanting to do different things because the carp stuff was a bit saturated, especially with work? Or was that a conscious decision to sort of widen the angling sort of marketplace, if you like?
It was just because my interests in fishing were broadening. I wanted to learn how to sea fish. I wanted to learn how to fly fish. I wanted to learn how to lure fish for pike and perch. That was all really. My interests were broadening, and so the content we made and the videos we made did the same thing. The videos, mine and Carl's videos, have always just replicated wherever we are at that point. So yeah, we went through phases of doing a lot more lure fishing than carp fishing, but then sometimes we'd do more carp fishing, and the videos would just follow us along on our adventures and whatever we were up to. It wasn't really a conscious like business decision. Let's expand the diversity of content to try and get into the sea industry or the lure fishing industry. It was just because we enjoyed doing other types of fishing.
So genuinely, it's just what you felt like doing, and then you took the cameras along in the same way that back in you started, it was just documenting what was going on.
It's always kind of been like that. Yeah.
Do you think Nash, or working at Nash, or working in the carp fishing industry, had a role to play within that? Do you think you were carped out with regards to that?
Yeah, definitely working around the carp fishing industry probably made us less interested in going carp fishing, because we were doing that. We were filming carp fishing every day and editing videos about that every day. So yeah, maybe it had something to do with that, probably. Yeah.
Did you have a sort of a wealth of other fishing YouTubers, or there could be obviously international as well, that you sort of aspired to in terms of your content? Or was it just a case of sort of, almost tunnel vision, you guys just do your own thing?
No, I watched a lot of other fishing YouTube stuff at the time. Watched a guy called John B, who is a USA bass fisherman YouTuber, or he was at the time.
Yeah.
I think he's still making videos, but he does a lot more traveling now.
Right.
But yeah, we watched him, and yeah, seeing his YouTube channel in the USA grow massive, like 1 million subscribers, that really did inspire us and make us think, whoa, we could turn our channel into something bigger and maybe go full time one day.
So that was the sort of starting point of maybe thinking in that way, would you say?
Yeah, I think seeing John do that stuff was definitely made us realize it is possible to turn a fishing channel into a job.
Is there anything domestically that you looked at that you sort of, because obviously you're quite, I'd say the YouTube, if you like, the UK YouTubers they're relatively tight, aren't they? The ones that are involved in fishing, because there's not a great deal of them. I'm trying to think of like nothing but fishing. They always have a match each year, or people get together, don't they? Those channels that are quite big, that are not associated with brands like Nash TV or whatever it may be, there's a bit of a community there. Was there anything you sort of looked up to, or sort of aspired to, or drew influence from domestically, rather than the big channels of John B and the likes of abroad?
Not really.
No, that's fair.
No, I always just looked at the massive channels, because I was like, want to be that big.
Yeah.
That sounds really bad, but no, I didn't really. I didn't. In fact, I think I stopped watching most UK fishing videos.
Yeah, that's fair, mate. As I said, honest question, honest answer. I like it. The whole monetization, if you like, of YouTube and the profitability. For you, was there a figure, a time scale, or something that would have made it viable for you to? Because obviously, 3 or 4 years at Nash, and then you've made this decision to sort of go on your own. Was there an aim to get to that point? Was there something that was going to make it viable for you both? Or was it just a case of, right, well, the timing is now in terms of where we're at?
Yeah, there was, well, from YouTube, you get like ad revenue money. There's a little ad that plays at the beginning and you can have some which go halfway through.
Yeah.
And you get some money. So we were getting some money from that, but not enough for 2 people to live on.
Yeah.
So we wanted to go full time, but we needed some other source of money. And so we contacted the big fishing companies. First, we contacted Nash because we were working there. And we were like, do you want to pay us to make our videos? We'll help promote your products in the videos. And yeah.
Well, yeah, it works reciprocally for both of us, yeah.
And I think we wanted too much money. The figure which we asked for was so that we could, both of us could go full time and make these fishing videos. And Nash said no. We talked to Fox and Corda as well, and Corda were well up for it and offered to pay us enough to make our videos full time.
For the dream to happen.
Yeah, and that felt really crazy and good. So we took it and went.
Did you feel the lead up to that decision? Nash is a very secure sort of family type environment. You work very closely together with a bunch of lads. It's got a good feel. It's also got scalability if you wanted to, in terms of whatever it is that you wanted to do. I mean, you could come up with an idea and no doubt it would happen. To make the decision to go on your own, was that an easy thing to do? How did that come about? Was it prompted by yourself or Carl? Was it, I don't know how that comes about, because it is the dream to be able to call fishing your career, do it on your own terms. I get that. But from a position which is, many would deem obviously a very fortunate position, to then go, right, we're going to try this. There's a lot that must go on in that period of time.
Yeah. When people ask me about these big decisions, like the leaving Nash and going full time with YouTube, I never have much to say, because I wasn't the person who was I wasn't the main person behind all these things. It was my brother, because he was the
business brain.
He was like, we're going to do this. This is where our channel is going to go. This is where Carl and Alex is going to, and I was just like a tag along, I was just like, I'm quite easygoing, and I was kind of up for anything. Like, if I stayed at Nash, I probably would have got on fine. But Carl was really keen to, make this move and go full time with the YouTube thing. And because I was his brother and we'd worked together for loads of years, I was just like, oh, let's do it. Yeah, cool, nice. I've never really been like sure of where I want to get to or what I want to do. I just tag along. And yeah, luckily Carl was more defiant on his decisions, and yeah, I just followed along with him. So yeah, I don't really have much to say about that.
That moment where it's happened, you're sorted, you've got, as you say, backing from Corda and Guru and the likes of, you have to basically tell everybody here and do the whole thing of saying, look, we're going alone. And having pitched the same thing to Nash. How did that all go down when you came in to sort of say, right, lads, well, we're going to move on, do our own thing?
It was really chilled, I think. Unfortunately, it wasn't that exciting. It was just like nice, have fun. It was quite sad.
Yeah.
I think the emotional side of it was actually the hardest thing. Standing at the gate on the last day, waving goodbye to all our fellow Nash friends. Yeah. Any sort of change is really kind of scary and a bit sad. Other than that, everyone was just wishing us well, and yeah, all the people at Nash are nice, so they they wanted us to go on and do what we wanted to do.
What did you miss about Nash? Because it's different if you've worked quite independently with each other, obviously post this, but you've come from a bigger team, if you like, especially by the time you've finished.
Yeah, the thing I miss most about Nash is walking in the office and just having that morning chat over a cup of coffee, just talking about random stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like that office vibe.
Yeah.
That you don't get when you work at home on your own. Because when I wake up in the morning and go to work, I roll out my bed, walk over to my desk and start work. But at Nash, you could walk in, "Hey, Dan, do you want a cup of coffee?" And he says, "Yeah, 2 sugars, 1 milk, whatever." And it's little things. "What did you do last night? Did you have a good weekend?" That sort of thing I think I miss. Because it's nice, isn't it? It's like nice little social interactions, which I don't really get anymore.
No.
Like, obviously, in my social life, I have friends and stuff, but my work life, I don't have that anymore. So yeah, I miss that.
Yeah, that's fair. I could see that. I think I'd struggle, mate, to be fair. But for you guys, having left, it's fair to say you hit it pretty hard. And we'll talk about the bigger trips, the adventures, if you like, that you guys went on. And I think you went through a spell of putting a video out a week, didn't you, or something mental?
Yeah, we decided to make a video every week for like months.
Was that not Burnout, mate?
Yeah, it was.
Yes,
it was really hectic, and it was just solid. We'd go out filming for a day or two, and then edit the rest of the week, and then put the video up on Saturday, and then just do the same thing again.
Was that just a case of trying to maximise the content going out there and get the sort of subscriber rate up?
Yeah, we just wanted to, like, when you invest, like, after leaving Nash, we are now investing all our time and money in our new thing, and we wanted it to work, so we just worked really hard to try and make it happen. But yeah, it wasn't sustainable doing that, like, video every week, because you burn out. You go, whoa, I need a break. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah,
we found we tried lots of different scheduling ways to schedule videos, and eventually we settled on like a video a month, which was quite nice.
Yeah, from a video a week to a video a month is a...
Also, when you put up a video a week, you don't put as much effort into it because or you rush it, I should say.
Yeah,
you rush it because you're trying to get it ready for Saturday. But if you got a less tight deadline, you can put more effort in and make the videos better, which I think it's nicer to do than just rush and put a video up every week.
Was it fair to say? It is fair to say probably that you are the first two independent sort of YouTube anglers in the UK, independent to some regard, obviously, because you did have company backing, but that have sort of done that. That's got to fill you with, a great deal of pride, because they're sort of achieving something within a larger group, but then there's also doing something, getting yourself to the point where that is financially sort of, a job.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if other people have done it. Wasn't really that interested to know whether anybody else had done it. But yeah, maybe we were the first fishing people in the UK to do something like that.
I was shocked, genuinely, when you guys left Nash, because I thought you were, obviously the content was mega from Nash, but you guys were doing a great job as well as balancing your channel. I didn't honestly see that coming, but then subsequently you guys having left to then sort of your angling, your content sort of really ramping up, I thought, well, hold on a minute, fair play to these two. They've taken a bit of a risk, because it's always a bit of a risk, and it's paid off, and it paid off big. But not only did you maximise content in terms of weekly, you planned some pretty mega big fishing trips out, didn't you? Yeah,
we put everything into the YouTube channel when we went full time. So all of our money was going on fishing trips, and we chose some pretty cool places to go, and we just put everything into it. Yeah, Went to the States a few times.
That looked like a wicked trip, mate.
Which was wild. Yeah, I love carp fishing in the USA. It's something special.
In what regard?
In the fact that they've got way more water, way more space, way more carp. Maybe not bigger carp, but uncaught carp and wild places and no rules. You can just turn up at a lake and do whatever you like and often catch a lot of fish. Yeah, America's really cool. I like it over there.
Is this where you went with basically John, didn't you? Did you take John carp fishing?
No, this is with our friends Brendan, Austin, and Brian.
Brendan Pass. I've got him on, but he still does it now, doesn't he? I've got him on Instagram.
Yeah.
Mega.
Yeah.
So these guys obviously had a little bit of a scene or a bit of an affinity towards carp angling, and they've taken you to sort of their haunts.
Yeah.
Go on, Derek. Your experiences of that?
Just the best fishing experiences ever.
In what way? Like simple fishing, find them, like
really simple fishing. Like, in terms of tactics, very simple. In terms of location and scenery, just mind blowing. Like the most beautiful lakes, the most beautiful wild places, and yeah, and the numbers of carp is just crazy. Like in England, you get a lake, and it's normally like you got 50 fish in there. Everyone knows what fish they are.
Yeah,
like that's a common scene in England and in carp fishing. But over there, you have a lake, and it'll have who knows. Nobody knows, and that's what's exciting. Like nobody knows how big the biggest fish is or how many there are. It's just so exciting. It's all wild. I think that's all it is. It's just wild still, and they got so much space and water to explore. It's just it's the adventure. It feels like there's more adventure when I go into America. Did
anybody sort of talk to you that were there that were Americans around sort of their perception of carp fishing? Because obviously you've got the lads that you're with that are that are happy, that they like carp fishing, they enjoy it, they do it. But the wider scale of that, because for me, you look at bass fishing over there, it's absolutely ridiculous. There's like a massive scene, multi-million-pound competitions, there's bass boats, there's that whole, fashion. Whereas carp, it's growing now. But the time that you guys went out there, it was relatively sort of new, wasn't it, and untapped?
Yeah, it seemed like carp fishing wasn't a big deal over there. Like our group of friends seemed to just know everyone else who carp fishes in the whole of the USA. I think it's growing. It's growing now. People just hadn't. It's just a culture thing, I think.
Do you think?
Because over there, it seems like most people just think carp are just not nice fish. Like there's nothing to back that up. I think it's just what you learn.
Yeah, I suppose.
Whereas bass are like the prized fish over there. Don't think it's really for any specific reason. It's just how they are taught and how they learn about it. But yeah, I think carp fishing is growing. I'd be surprised if it doesn't grow massive because they've got the best carp fishing in the world over there.
Yeah, it looks pretty. Those waters look spectacular. Let alone you've got buffalo carp and then obviously normal carp as well. So yeah, there is a definite difference in there. Tactically, was there anything you did UK-wise or you brought over that was different to what the Americans doing, or any adjustments you had to make to be successful? I'm thinking mainly also about, you're talking about big expanses of water and fishing with boilies. Have they seen boilies before? Did you need to make any bait tweaks to sort of be successful?
All we did was have some breadcrumbs wrapped around a lead and then some corn on the hook on the hair.
Corn, yeah.
The only thing that is similar between USA fishing and English fishing is using a hair rig.
Yeah.
And an inline lead. There's nothing more than that.
That is so simple. Any nuisance species? Anything else that you caught when you were there?
Oh yeah, we caught a turtle.
Jeez.
That was fun.
What, like a big snapping turtle thing?
Yeah, I don't know whether it was a snapping turtle, but it certainly looked like a snapper sort of. It was snapping. I'd say it was like slapping its mouth and snapping its mouth. And it had such a long neck. Oof. And it had a little bit of corn that it tried to eat.
Not the one.
What else did we catch?
No crocs, snakes, nothing like that.
No, our friend caught a snake with his hands.
What do you mean? You don't just pick up snakes. Is he American though?
He does.
Probably knows.
He does. He picks up whatever.
He don't care.
No, he picked up a snake when on my last trip to the USA as well. He just loves snakes.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, mate. To be fair.
Did you see the spider in the front
Yeah,
this
that's what I
morning?
mean. Yeah, that was a big spider.
That
no?
was huge. Its legs were really long.
I wouldn't scream, but I wouldn't also willingly go and want to pick it up.
If that thing
It was in your van.
like was just crawled across my face at night, I would probably scream.
Stuff of nightmares, mate.
Yeah. I was once on my phone underneath my covers in my bed watching YouTube videos, and you know how your phone's like lit up like that, and you can imagine if it's pitch black. I was looking at my phone, and then a spider crawled across my screen, and it freaked me out, and I threw my phone and my duvet covers away. I felt like such a baby.
You got to get you. Surely you've had that a few times fishing.
Oh yeah, I don't really mind about creepy crawlies anymore. I got used to it because I sleep outside quite a lot, and I go camping, and in the USA, my most recent trip over, the lake was full of these little bugs, like the bugs flying around. They're like mosquitoes, but they weren't. They were something similar, but they didn't actually bite you. Anyway, there were millions of them swarming everywhere, and they would just land in our food. They would land in our beds. They would go in our ears, in your mouth, up your nose, everywhere. And we just got used to it.
That don't sound very pleasant, to be fair.
It wasn't, but yeah.
I think it's more the fear of like whatever's out there might do you a bit of harm.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But no, that might just be me projecting. When you were fishing out there, talk to me about you and Carl and filming you fishing over there. It must have been pretty shattering because it's a lot of travel by the looks of it. There's a lot of adapting to sort of different culture, let alone sort of food. Just the distance and the scale of things just looks ridiculous.
Yeah, all sorts of things tire you out mentally when you go somewhere new. Like all the new scenery is tiring. All the new people that you're meeting is tiring, and all the food is different, and everything's different, and it's all makes you wears you out a bit.
But the mileage from the video, I remember the video being immense. I remember watching it. It was a long video. Definitely the first one was a long video, but very, very good. It opened a lot of people's eyes to maybe some potential out that neck of the woods. The sort of, how can you say, the sort of weight of going out and doing that, and you did a fair few other trips that were abroad, sort of different, maybe not as viewed or as seen as a normal channel, especially a UK channel. Do you think that really sort of catapulted you into sort of the amount of subscribers that you guys ended up with?
I think some of the videos we made abroad really helped grow our channel because they were like proper adventure films.
Yeah.
And they had a really nice story, beginning, middle, and end, like a crazy adventure. Which, when we were in the UK filming our fishing, it didn't really have the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and some of those videos did really well and got us lots of new people in.
I was going to say, did you get a lot of the US people follow you off the back of that one? Did you get a lot of sort of, different audiences coming in?
We didn't get loads because people normally click subscribe if they want to, like, if they invest in that person, if they want to see more from them. And sometimes if someone just sees a one-off video of us traveling in the USA, they might not click subscribe. But for sure, yeah, it got us quite a lot of new people. But still, most of our audience were from the UK. Most of our fishing audience were all from UK.
What were your other standout sort of travel trips? I remember some big perch from Holland.
Gosh, don't talk to me about the perch. Oh, that was the best fishing trip ever. Firstly, because they were big perch. Secondly, because it was my first solo trip.
Yes.
Sorry, Carl. I'm not trying to be rude. But it was the first time I'd done something like completely on my own.
Yeah.
Like, I had to get out to the Netherlands in my van on my own. I had to sort everything out myself. I had to catch the fish myself, had to film myself. And I just felt very rewarding being able to do something without holding my brother's hand the whole time. And everything went to plan. Everything worked. I caught massive perch. I made a film which got loads of views, and it was really cool. Yeah, that was probably one of the best fishing trips ever. Perch the size of
They were ridiculous, mate, weren't they?
Footballs.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
They looked absolutely ridiculous,
Big
mate.
perch are really impressive. Yeah, I would like to go back there one day.
What about things that didn't necessarily work out? What have you had in terms of experience from that? Because you've gone alone, it's a big call. Filming fishing is never easy. It's a wild animal. You're trusting on it to sort of, get hooked, if you like. Anything that didn't go to plan or didn't quite work out?
Yeah, there was obviously lots of fishing trips which didn't go well. I would go fishing and we wouldn't catch. And both Carl and I would be in a bad mood because we didn't have a video. Yeah, it's not very fun. But you got to make it work, so we'd just go out again and try harder next time. And then there was obviously the brotherly relationship, which wasn't always very smooth.
I can imagine.
Because we just had arguments about things, silly little things.
Like what? What do you mean?
Like, we'd be driving to the lake, and I'd go round the corner. I'd be driving, go around the corner. And everything in the back of the car would go, because maybe I was driving around the corner too fast. And the car would, I don't know, say, "Whoa, Alex." And I would say, "Whoa, Carl." And then it would just start arguing.
Kick off from there.
I don't know how brotherly arguments start. They're just stupid. That was a really bad analogy of how it starts.
No, I can see that with my brother.
It's like, we've got all our fishing kit.
Yeah.
Line, like, getting ready. And Carl takes a baiting needle and puts it in his tackle box. And I look at that and I go, he just took my baiting needle. And then it just starts off this hate, which is fuming. Why did you do that, Carl?
Did you have that?
I don't know why.
Did you have that as a young age as well? Like, did he?
Yeah,
Do you wind each
all
other
the
up?
time?
Yeah.
Ever since I can remember. It's just this weird brotherly thing, which I reckon all siblings can relate to.
Yeah.
They just wind you up for no reason, and I wind Carl up. I know I do.
Yeah,
100%. The way it is.
But it's fair to say you guys spent a very concentrated amount of time together in a realistic sibling sense, because normally you'd have probably different jobs.
That's true.
You guys lived together at this point, didn't you?
Yeah, we bought a house together, which was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool to say that you've sort of built something that could buy a house. At how old are you? 20s?
I think I was 19.
19, that's ridiculous, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Spending every moment with your bro, especially when they're the bigger bro and they're often telling you what to do. Because Carl was sort of like, he was very chilled, but he was sort of the boss.
Yeah.
That wasn't his job title at Carl and Alex Fishing. It was just sort of what it felt like. Carl was older. He was the boss. He had the main ideas. He had the direction. He told me what to do. And it's difficult being told what to do by your brother.
Yeah,
it's difficult to be told what to do by anyone, I think. But when they're your brother, it's not as easy. It's not very nice. You just want to say, "Shut up, go away."
Yeah, fair. What about back in sort of UK filming terms? You did a load of nice carp pieces, to be fair, as well as other stuff. But to find places to go to find stuff that sort of, I don't know, stoke your fire as much as those big trips, catching massive perch and going to America, was that tricky? Was it hard to stay as motivated and enthusiastic?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because when you go and you have an incredible fishing trip,
yeah,
you're on a massive high, right? You just experience something that good. To experience something even better, it's got to be crazy. And well, we couldn't, because we'd just been to America, and we had the best fishing trip of our lifetime. And then we come back to England, and you have to drop your expectations a bit. You have to go, okay, we're not going to catch 100 carp today, and it's not going to be as good as that. You've got to just learn to be happy with it, whether it's that big carp or that big carp.
Was that easy for you to do though?
Yeah, for times when I was at my most fishing obsessed Alex fisherman, like, yeah, it was easy. But as we did it longer and longer, it was harder to do. It was harder to be motivated.
Yeah, of course. At one point, I can't remember the specific video, but it was basically people that were on the same lake, maybe being adverse to you fishing it, publicising it, filming, etc. And there was a bit of classic sort of politics, if you like, around other people fishing the venue at the time. Did you find that a common thing, especially as you got bigger and your sort of profile got out there, or were most places quite keen to have that sort of PR or that sort of eye cast on them?
It really depended. Yeah, there was some lakes which that people were very willing for us to go and make videos at. But then when we found a particular lake which was special in some way, like had some big carp that not many people knew about, and we wanted to fish and make a video, yeah, that caused upset with local people. And I can completely understand that. I don't think it I don't think it meant that people could actually be horrible about it. Like, I don't think it was worthy of being like people actually being nasty.
How bad did it get in terms of nastiness?
I mean, we got death threats from people.
What do you mean? They messaged you?
Yeah.
Saying what? We're going to kill you.
Like, we'll stab up your tent and hang you from a tree.
Nice.
Yeah.
But you kept going.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't believe that they would actually do that.
That is a mad message.
Yeah, some people got mad, which is, I understand why they got mad.
But it doesn't seem to faze you, mate. Not a lot seems to faze you. Like YouTube comments, perception from other people.
I mean,
does it bother you or not?
Most of the time, no. But if I wake up one morning and maybe I didn't get a good night's sleep, and the first thing I read is a comment from someone saying, go get a proper job, you're a waste of space and you're no good for society, that's when it kind of goes, oh, maybe he's right.
And how does that affect you? Do you bite back? Do you give it some back?
I never reply to negative comments, because you're only drawing attention to it and building it into a bigger thing in your head. But yeah, sometimes it does get to you. Yeah, unfortunately, it just does get to you sometimes. But I try and not let it affect me too much. I think it's just what happens when you put stuff out there.
And throughout the course of the time when you've gone alone, things have gone well. The channel's continued to grow. You sort of diversified with a second channel, which is the tutorials channel, which is sort of, if you like, a more commercial spin.
I think that was one of Carl's best ideas.
I was going to say, whose idea?
Carl's, of course. Yeah, a YouTube channel which is dedicated to helping people fish. Like really simple instructional videos, no nonsense, just like straightforward. This is how to catch fish without crazy product placements which just confuse things. And yeah, I think that was a really good idea, Carl. Nice.
Did that become sort of, I don't know, secondary to the actual fishing episodes for you, the tutorial stuff, or was that just as sort of exciting, just as much as a driving passion as sort of going out there and fishing? Because they're very different, aren't they?
No, it was boring making those videos.
Yeah.
Like really boring. It was fine. It just felt like it was just a job, you know. You in the studio tying rigs, doing a voiceover. This is how you tie the rig. It was just nowhere near as fun as doing the actual fishing adventures. But it served a purpose.
Yeah, definitely.
Teaching young kids or new anglers how to fish, and I think that's really cool. I think in every industry you need a channel like that. You like whether it be golf videos or any other sport.
Yeah, you need that baseline content, don't you?
You want that baseline, easy content to understand and no nonsense. Just
To be fair, Josh Crane, who is now here at Nash, he was involved, no? Wasn't he?
He was, yeah. He helped with the tutorial channel for a whole year, I think.
He did a year with you boys.
Yeah.
What was he like with you lot?
He was a lovely lad. Yeah, really nice guy. Remember, we needed someone to help with the videos, and
I remember you putting something out, didn't you?
Yeah, we put up like a post on Instagram, like anybody know how to edit, because we really wanted someone to help create the videos. He got in touch. Well, we got in touch with him because we saw some of the videos he had made. Because he was doing some hobby video making, and we really liked it. Visited him, really nice guy, and then we worked with him for a whole year. And he helped the tutorial channel grow from like almost nothing to quite big.
Yeah.
He was really useful person, really good.
Yeah, fair play.
And it was really nice working with someone else, because before that it was just Carl and I, but then he joined us and
a different dynamic. Yeah. So from this point, we talked Carp, we talked about you diversifying and going abroad. There was a stage where the channel sort of went down various other guises, namely with you in front of it, like mushroom picking, cooking. There was different segues. Maybe there'd be in the piece like the French carping holiday that you went on, where you were doing some cooking in the middle of it or stuff like that. There was little differences and sort of something that was a bit more, this is a bit different from these boys. And you were a bit like, okay, is this an angle for something, another avenue they're going to branch into or whatever? Was that prompted by you, or was that prompted by just general sort of thought that we might need to do something slightly different?
Nah, this, like I said before, our videos have always simply documented whatever we happen to be doing at a certain time. And the reason why there were random cooking segments in the videos and random mushroom picking things and some other weird stuff was simply because I was broadening my interests, and the videos just showed that. I just became, I think it was like when I was about 18 or 19 or 20. I just became really interested in lots of other outdoor activities. Especially cooking and mushroom picking. Mushroom foraging really got me, because it's a bit like carp fishing. It's like you're on a hunt for something, and you're looking in the woods for this thing, this species of mushroom, and then you finally find it, and it's like catching a big carp, but it's just a mushroom instead. Those things just appeared in the videos because they were just my new interests, and I wanted to share them because I like sharing interests on the videos. We didn't know how people would receive it. We were like, what happens if we put up a video about something which isn't fishing? Are people going to like it? Are people going to be like, this isn't what I subscribe for? Unsubscribe. And some people probably did. But I felt like it was more important to be myself and share my interests, whatever they might be.
There was a lot. Obviously, Carl went down the sort of aquatics route.
Yeah, he's all fish. Yeah.
And you went down the sort of, I don't know, the outdoorsy stuff.
Yeah, outdoors, I guess, is a way to niche it.
And, which I have failed to mention, there was a little bit of the old competitive edge in the Carl versus Alex stuff, mate.
Oh
wasn't there?
gosh, yeah, that was.
I
Exciting.
thought they were good.
Yeah,
I like them. Just because that's what I'd do with my bro. I'd be
Yeah.
like, right, well, look, we've had a little bit
I think
of
it's
bit.
like quite relatable for any friends who go fishing together. You know, you're always a little bit competitive, aren't you?
I don't think it was competitive enough, mate. If that was me and my brother, it would be to the death. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Well, Carl did catapult me with pellets in my face.
Yeah, it's good angling.
Which,
If you got to do what you got to do.
I mean, it was really painful.
At the end of the day, all's fair in love and war, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you get him back?
I don't think I did.
That's poor from you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get him back every time I see him in a little way by winding him up.
Because you smashed him up.
Yeah. I think, did I win? I can't even remember.
Yeah, I think you did.
It was like competitive and sometimes nasty, but
Did you, what, nasty as in we saw it on camera or nasty we didn't see it on camera?
oh no, you saw it all on camera. Like just I mean, no, just the catapulting pellets was the main thing. I say that it doesn't sound bad, and people who are listening are probably like, "It's just some pellets." Honestly, so painful.
Yeah, you don't want a face full of hard objects. Being
It's like-
catapulted at you.
Yeah, it's really painful. I'm trying to remember how it felt.
I remember the was it the multi-species like rod racy style one?
Oh yeah, we did a
like
multi-species one. Yeah, where we had like 48 hours to travel around the UK and try and catch the most species. And Carl had to drink that smoothie.
That's right, the smoothie.
Oh,
Did he actually drink it? You saw him neck a little bit, but
He had the whole lot, I think. Yeah, it was really bad. When I watch it, I feel like puking.
He must have been sick.
He wasn't. No, he was okay. Oh no, maybe he did outside. He got out the house first.
Yeah, that's pretty grim.
Yeah, I didn't want to have a forfeit like that ever again.
Yeah. Would you say that you, and this is a tough one, but would you say that you genuinely were the sort of more natural angler?
Oh yes, of course. I've always been the better. Maybe not natural, but I just put more work in. I was the better fisherman out of the both of us.
You both seem quite natural, as in like you're both good anglers, regardless of what you're anglers, aren't you? Like people can be very good as a carp angler, but they might not be able to transfer the same set of skills to river fishing or to sea fishing. But whenever I see your content, not only is it always really, really watchable, I think everybody watched it. Like it was so watchable and well filmed and put together, and there was a good chemistry between you, whatever you were doing. But you always seemed like it was very simple within your comfort zone, and you know what I mean. You never, I don't know. Maybe that's just a perception I have, but you never seemed like, right, geez, like I would do if I was boat fishing on a big public French water. I'd be an absolute mess. Do you know what I mean? That'd need a lot of editing to make it look anywhere near. But you always seemed like whatever you were doing, you were capable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
I mean, that's very kind of you to say. I just sort of went fishing. I don't really feel like it was.
But you'd say that you edged it in terms of like.
I was better at fishing than Carl.
Why do you think that is?
I just am.
You can't just say I am.
Yeah, but I am.
What do you mean? I just got like rigs, knowledge, spots, finding fish.
I've just got the skills that Carl hasn't.
What is those skills?
It's not even describe. I can't even explain it. It's something I can't describe. Carl just hasn't got the fish fingers like I have.
Fish fingers. It's a dice.
I don't know. No, I'll be honest. Cut the stupidness aside. Fishing's mostly luck anyway. It's just luck. I just got lucky more, I think.
You think?
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything in that luck? You're pretty at tune with the old nature and universe. Do you think there's anything in that?
I think I can maybe understand how a fish thinks more.
You're in their heads more.
Yeah, I've been diving in the water a few times with goggles on, and I feel a bit more fishy.
Feel fishy.
Sorry, the heat is getting to me.
No,
I'm starting to
melt.
Lose my
hot
sensibleness.
That, I mean, obviously the outcomes of the Carl versus Alex and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that, but I didn't know what you'd attribute to sort of that success, that look. Maybe it was natural. Maybe it was, I don't know.
It's I don't know. I just I'm just better than Cole.
Nice indeed. Talk to me about the decision, what went into leaving what is a very successful living, a very sort of massive change that you've already had going out on your own to then, going out with just you and Cole to then going out on your own. What goes into that, mate?
It took me a couple of years to sort of come to that decision. I had a few sort of inside issues with, like, I didn't really, I had a lot of self-doubt and self-confidence. What I mean by that is, for the last 15 years, I've always worked with my brother. I've always done everything with him. And I got to a point a few years ago where I was like, I don't feel like I've really done something of my own. I don't even know if I can do something on my own. Like, am I capable of growing my own business? Am I capable of getting a job myself? Because up until that point, I felt like maybe my brother had done everything for me.
Right.
And I needed to prove to myself in some way that I could do something in this world on my own, whether it be get a normal job or start a business or start a YouTube channel. It didn't really matter to me at that point. I just needed to prove to myself that I could do something on my own. Partly that is why I left. There are also other things involved, such as my interests were diversifying massively. I no longer was a fisherman, really. I did it because it was my job. I didn't really enjoy it as much anymore.
You could see that. I filmed with you and Carl, and we went down
on a river
to the river.
And I ended up magnet fishing, didn't I?
You were chucking a magnet about.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I'd talked to you guys, but I hadn't been out fishing with you. And I was like, that doesn't strike me as like, because Carl was on it, like, this is a spot, like, here, whatever. And we were off trotting for whatever, and then we went carp fishing, didn't we, at Little Lake? And I remember getting to that river, the little river, trotting a float through, and then like 2 seconds later, just this massive, absolute badoosh. I'm thinking, what in the flying is that? And it was you chucking a magnet in, and you were happy just chucking a magnet.
I caught a massive piece of metal there, didn't I?
You caught? Did you?
I caught a few pieces.
Caught loads
of
of coins.
Caught coins. Yeah, when I saw you there, that was a prime example of Alex not interested in fishing anymore, and trying to just find something else to do. Like, I've gone through a massive. I feel like I changed so much in the last few years. I went from being this obsessed fisherman who all I was interested in was fishing, and that's all I wanted to do, into now being someone who I'm just interested in way more things. Like, it's not that I don't like fishing, it's just the fact that I now find interest in loads of it. I'm branching out and finding all these. Life is full of things. There's so many things to do, right? There's unlimited hobbies to try, unlimited foods to eat, unlimited things. And I just felt like I was missing out just being a fisherman. And a couple of years ago, I just felt the need to try all these things. I need to get out and do more with my life than just fishing.
Was there any thought of sort of staying in the channel and trying to do that?
Yeah, I did. Because a year before I left, I said to Carl that I was going to leave.
Right.
And then I never actually ended up leaving that time because I was too scared to. And I also wanted to try and make it work, like try and stay in the channel and also explore my new things. But it just wasn't really working for me. I felt like I needed to go all in. I think I'm sort of an all-in person. Like, when I do something, I want to leave that behind and go, bam, this direction. Like, start my own thing. But yeah, I wanted to try and keep going because it was a very comfortable position. because we had a sponsor for the YouTube channel. People were watching the videos, enjoying them, earning a living. It was great, like amazing. And I wanted, and I was very scared to lose that.
100%, yeah. That's
But
natural.
I also knew that I was no longer this fisherman that I used to be. Like, and I no longer had the drive that I used to have with the whole fishing thing. And I needed to be myself. And if I was going to make videos in the future, I needed to make videos about things which Alex is really behind and wants to do. I think I just did too much of it, to be honest.
I was going to say, do you think it was burnout, essentially?
Yeah, I think it's just 15 years of fishing and nothing else. I think just that really.
Would you say that with, obviously, you still enjoy angling if you like, but would you say that the passion, that was the defining thing? Was it the passion within you for fishing waned?
Yeah, I still like fishing. I still enjoy doing it every now and then, but I just don't have the passion for it anymore.
When was the last time you went fishing, mate?
A few months ago.
What did you fish for?
I was in America with Carl.
Oh, for a video.
Yeah.
So you've gone.
Oh no, sorry, I was fishing just a few days ago. You caught me off guard. I do go fishing still. I was fishing for sea bass, but it was very different. Like, we're trying to catch our dinner.
But is that if you were to choose fishing today?
If I were to choose to go fishing, the only reason I would go fishing would be so I could eat the fish,
right?
Because like there's a real incentive there to catch your dinner.
What's your thoughts on carp fishing now? Then
I've just got no desire to do it anymore.
Yeah. Do you keep up to date with anything that's going on? Do you watch anything still, or do you? No?
I watch Carl's videos.
You watch Good Save. Great save. I love that. I've got you, bro.
Yeah.
I've got you, bro.
But I think I watch him because he's my brother.
You want to see how poor it is without your influence.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. You're the one that the anonymous comments going, this is absolutely rubbish, bring Alex back. No.
Unfortunately, I don't like saying that, but it's just true. It's just how some humans are. That you have interests, and sometimes your interests fade. Yeah, I was really scared when I started to lose the love for fishing. I was like, "Where is it going? I used to love fishing, and now I don't feel like doing it. What's going on?" But you just got to go with the flow and do what you feel like.
But it's a mature decision, mate. I know that you're young, but it's a very mature decision to go and pursue something completely off what is already a successful sort of gimme. You can coast there, couldn't you? You could sit there and sort of say, right, Carl, well, I'm not going to do as much in front of camera, but I'll film stuff and we'll still do all right.
Mm-hmm.
And everything will be hunky-dory and the wheel will keep going round. But it's a big, big, big decision. How did your family take the news? How did Carl take the news when you actually said, right, well, that's it then?
God, you're making it sound like a really big thing. How did they take the news?
It's quite a big thing, though, isn't it?
It felt big. Felt big for me.
100%. I think it's big for everyone. I would genuinely, mate, when it was announced, and it was announced on a little video that you guys brought out, wasn't it, on social media?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, that's like mad. Those guys, I still do love watching like Carl's videos, your videos, but I really like that Carl and Alex whole sort of thing that you built. I remember the guys here, obviously, you still hang around with like Dan and the likes of, and you used to sort of see him and stuff like that. And obviously, there was no sort of insight into that ever happening. And I was like, wow, that's out of left field for me, but fair play.
Yeah, I think change is really tricky and scary for most people. Like, if something's going good, you don't want to change, right? Or if you, change is scary. And my family were like, why change? It's going so well. Just keep doing it. You're doing good. But what I think is way worse is being too comfortable and being, just when you go into the stage of just going through the motions of just, this is what I do. I wake up in the morning, make a fishing video, go to bed, do the same thing the next day.
Mm.
I felt like I was too comfortable. Had fine income, had a job, it was all going well. But yeah, I got too comfortable, and I needed to do something that would challenge me again. Do something, make a big change. And of course, because I had felt the need to do something on my own, and also with my interests diversifying, I was like, right, now I'm gonna do it. And yeah, parents were a bit like, what the heck are you doing? Some of my friends were really excited about me making videos other than fishing. Like my friends who are outside of fishing, my old school friends, they were really hyped because they have always been like, you ever going to make videos about something which isn't fishing? So I think they were quite excited for that. But yeah, it was pretty scary. Yeah, but
how did it go down with, obviously, the likes of Corda and the people that backed you? Was it okay? Were they happy with Carl to continue and everything?
Yeah,
going
Carl was really worried because he thought, if I'm not there, will Corda still support the channel as just Carl?
Yeah.
I obviously knew that they would because Carl's good enough on his own. But Carl was really worried about that. And I think Corda took it fine, and everyone who supported took it fine. And all the people in the comments of the little announcement video we made of Carl and Alexa doing their own thing. Yeah, people were really supportive. And not everybody. I made a mistake of going on the Carp, one of the Carp forums, and there was a little thread about Carl and Alex breaking up.
What's this sort of rumours about you two doing whatever?
There was
hating each other?
just people just saying not very nice stuff, as you normally see on forums. And rumours about the reasons why we stopped making videos together, because we had a big fight, or Carl,
what did you hear?
Carl got a girlfriend, and
right.
that made us break apart. But no, it was purely my decision, and I'm glad I did it, because you know what, I have become a lot stronger person after doing my own thing, because I've had to face so many challenges, like running your own business on your own rather than having like someone else to do lots of it for you. I've had to face loads of new challenges and learn loads of new skills, and it's made me a better person going at it alone.
It's fair to say, I mean, you've had a lot of change in a period of time, quite in the grand scheme of things, a long career when you talk about filming from being a child, but in sort of your sort of maybe more established, mature career, it's not that long, but you've had a lot of change in that period of time. And your channel now, it started from sort of sleeping out overnight, converting the van, cooking, all that type of foraging element. I think even so, that is a bit of a sort of a mission of self-discovery, isn't it? There's a lot of different aspects even in your channel, JustAlex now, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
And you've got 50,000 plus subscribers?
Yeah, I think 57,000 people subscribed, which I can't quite believe that many people want to watch me do loads of random things. My new channel is a real weird mix of stuff. Like, I've been camping in my car, cooking up really expensive steak, mushroom foraging.
The mushrooms are back, mate. They're back in, aren't they?
Yeah.
Does love a mushroom forage, don't you?
I do. I flipping. You can't beat going into the woods in the autumn when it's really damp and looking for big old penny bun mushrooms.
I need some more mushroom knowledge, mate.
I think, you know what? I think more carp anglers should try mushroom foraging, because I think people will realise how similar it is, because it's the same thing. You're on a hunt, and it's just you're in a different location. You're in a wood rather than by a lake, and you can find stuff and then you can eat it. It's great. Or you could combine the two. You can go carp fishing, put your rods out, have a look in the bushes for some.
See, that appeals to me
mushrooms.
More.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to put pictures of me holding mushrooms up on Instagram.
Really?
It's not going to go well, is it?
That's what I use.
I know you
all
do,
my
mate.
dating profiles.
Is that the Tinder profile? It's just some mushrooms?
Me holding mushrooms. It works a treat, I tell you.
My God. Yeah, fair play, but that's going well. But I like it because it is you've done something that is, out there, that is very you, but also is a fundamental part of you being happy, I think, because, I think that's more important than anything, isn't it? Like, let's face it.
There's a couple of things involved. I knew that I needed to start a business which earns money because I want to live and be comfortable, but also I wanted to be myself and be happy, And so I used my video skills that I learned over the past 15 years making videos and combined that with my interests that make me happy. And I hoped, and luckily it seems that there are enough people watching it and interested in it for me to keep doing it for a while longer, and allows me to do it.
What's the long-term plan with that? Because you said there, you admitted wholeheartedly that you're not a long-term sort of future vision planner.
No,
you'll go with the flow, man. So,
I even more so now. Like, I used to think a little bit ahead, like maybe a year or two. But now I just think about like the next few days, and it really makes me a lot happier thinking about very short term. Because as soon as you think about the future too much, for me at least, it ends up with me just like worrying, like, oh no, what happens if people stop enjoying watching my videos? What happens if this video doesn't get many views? What happens if all these things that could happen? I just think about the next few days and weeks, and it's nice because you're living more presently and enjoying the moment more than planning. And I don't have a clue where my YouTube channel's going. I don't have a clue what my interests will be in a year's time. I don't know whether it's going to earn me enough money to live. I don't know whether I'm going to have to get another job. I don't know where I'm going to live. I move out of my flat in 2 weeks, and I don't know where I'm going to live. It doesn't bother me because I'll figure it out when I get there. Maybe where I'm going to live is a bit more of a serious issue. I should try
just in the van, mate.
I should try. That's the thing. Yeah, I'm converting a van at the moment, and my aim is to, once I move out my flat in a couple of weeks, I'm going to travel around the world.
Travel, mate. That's a buzz for you, isn't it?
Yeah, travel. Yeah, I'm hyped to experience loads of different places across the world and meet loads of people and do loads of new things and explore, because I think it's one of the best things you can do when you're young is explore and try loads of new things.
I've enjoyed it, man. I don't think I'd ever say that I would have watched a video of a person sleep in a car park, but I did. I did, man.
I woke up one day and I thought, I want to try something new. What should I do? And I just thought, let's sleep in a McDonald's car park. And before I could have second thoughts, because it is a very weird idea, I just did it. Yeah. And yes, it sounds like a really stupid random thing to do, but it was an experience and I learned from it, and I did something. It feels good to have done something, even if it's something weird like that.
Mate, it's a different market space. It's a completely different realm. And if you've been going since, what are we talking, 8 months? No, 8 months now, and you've got 57,000 followers.
Yeah, why the heck do people watch me doing this weird stuff? But it's cool. I can't believe it. It's
must
great.
Be watchable, mate. An aspect I want to talk to you about, and this is in general, obviously there's going to be a great deal of sort of anglers watch this. We are sort of still in that YouTube generation. People can make money, careers, etc. I think in the next few, there are full-time anglers now, probably more readily than there ever has been. Social media, YouTube, what are your tips for making a success of that in terms of it becoming a career? What have been the keys for you guys in making such a successful channel, and you subsequently making your own successful channel on your own?
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I guess...
Great insight. I don't know.
No, I would feel more qualified to talk about this if I had sort of 100,000 subscribers or something. Like actually.
But you did have with Carl and Alex Fishing, and you have got 57,000 subscribers on YouTube.
I guess choose a subject which you enjoy and you can really get behind. Doesn't matter what it is. If you're really into fishing and you love fishing, make videos about that. If you're really into knitting, make videos about that. Lots of to keep going with a YouTube channel, like to persevere and keep going, there needs to be some sort of fuel. There needs to be an ongoing fuel to make it work and not give up. Because that's why most people, I think, it doesn't end up working. It's because you give up when things get hard. But if when things get hard, you've got this fuel, this passion for something to keep you going, then you'll succeed. Never give up. Never give up. And that's it. Fair. That was a really bad answer.
Anything about regularity? Do you have to be pretty regular with it? Just keep on it, or what?
I'm not a good person to ask about YouTube stuff. I mean, regularity is probably quite important, but more important is making good stuff that people want to watch.
Yeah.
Quality comes ahead of everything. I notice it. If I put a video up which I don't think is very good, it just doesn't do as well. If I put more effort into a video and make it better, it does better. If you make good videos, then people will watch them, and it's really hard to say how you make a good video.
Of course,
it's a very hard thing to define.
Yeah.
Story is very important. Like, you've got to have a good story. You've got to go from the beginning to the end and have some sort of change.
I get it. Beginning, I want to catch this fish.
Yeah.
Middle, I lose big fish.
So
end, I catch big fish.
So Carl, the way Carl and I made most of our videos is we'd have a beginning where we set out on an adventure. We arrive at the lake and we start the quest for the fish. We set down, like, this is the challenge. We are here to catch this fish. It might be a 20-pound fish or 40-pound fish or a certain individual fish. And that sets the introduction to the video. That is what keeps people watching, because they know what we want to achieve and they're going to watch us try and get there. Then the hard part comes where you've actually got to try and make that happen.
Yeah.
Like, that's the bulk of the video. That's like the middle bit. And that involves all the trials and tribulations of getting there. And the best videos are the ones where there's the most, like, ups and downs, and you might hook a fish and then you lose it, and it's like heartbreaking because you just lost a big fish and you're like, no, but it keeps people watching. That's all part of the story. And it's those things with fishing that you can't really plan.
Yeah, they happen.
They just sort of happen naturally. Yeah. But yeah, you go through that middle phase of the story where you try really hard and you fail, and then you get back up and you try again, and then you eventually, hopefully, achieve the target which you set out at the beginning. And that's sort of the story which Carl and I went for, and most of our fishing videos. Yeah, you gotta have a good story for someone to want to watch your videos. It's really hard to create good stories, though.
Yeah,
it's a tricky thing to do,
especially if you're doing it with regularity over and over again, mate. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, and especially when you're dealing with fishing, because that's like a very unreliable thing.
Yeah, the joys.
Yeah,
never work with animals or children.
That's it. Or Alex.
Alex, I've thoroughly enjoyed this little tour around your mental career, mate. It's been brilliant. Like, it's been relatively short, but you've done a lot. And I look forward to seeing where things take you in the future, mate. And thank you for being very open and honest throughout the whole process of this interview, mate.
Cheers for having me on, Hassan. It's nice to talk to someone because I've been cooped up in my little room at home editing videos all week. So I'm glad to get out and eat some snacks with you.
You said you were going to do both boxes.
I know. I didn't manage that. I had some of these ones. These were good, but I just feel like I'm going to be sick if I have too many more.
Yeah, go steady. No being sick. You'd be the first podcast guest that's been sick.
Yeah.
Before you go, I've got some quickfire questions, mate.
Oh, no. Oh, questions.
Yes. Just a little bit more talking. It's good. You know what I mean? Living the dream, editing on your own.
I would like to... People wouldn't like to watch this all day, but I would like to do this all day. Just sit with someone and just talk about...
All day, 24-hour podcast.
Just talk about everything. Just keep talking. Because it's fun talking about stuff.
Fun. 24 hours would be a good one. I don't know if I'd stay awake, mate.
You could do a Twitch
you could
stream.
To do a Twitch stream.
Hassan talking.
I don't know if you want me talking 24 hours. I think however long this is enough of me talking for these people. They're here to hear you. On to your questions. First one, who'd win in a fight, you or Carl?
Me. Do you want me to explain like why I'd win?
Yeah, you got to go into detail there.
So this is a not so quick fire questions with Alex.
Nice. Take your time.
I would grab him by the legs because he's got long lanky legs and they are very wobbly. Like he's not very stable.
Like a newborn giraffe.
Yeah. You seen that David Attenborough documentary where the giraffe comes out of the big giraffe and it's trying to walk and it
comes out of the big giraffe.
Yeah, like the big giraffe gives birth.
His mum. Yeah.
Anyway, I would grab him by the legs and just lift him up. And I think I'd just win. And then if he tried to get back up, I would put my hands on his wrists because his wrists are very thin and weak. And I'd push them down into the ground. And then so he'd be like that. He'd be like, and he'd be kicking his legs, but I'd be holding his hands down.
The lengths you thought about this is incredible.
And then after that, it depends how much beating you want me to go into. But I think I would have won at that point.
But you've got the element of surprise in this attack, haven't you? Just grabbing his legs.
I would grab his legs. If we were in a ring though,
yeah.
Is it a boxing? Like a boxing match, not like just a random.
You can't just surprise attack, mate. There's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, a boxing match. I think I'd still win, but it'd be a little bit harder. Yeah, I would win.
You've got a bit more range now, though. I think
I'm bigger than him, but longer, taller. He's got maybe bigger fists. I don't know.
Right.
It wouldn't be that close. I'd win.
I think I can see a celebrity charity boxing match special.
Yeah.
All proceeds to the Angling Trust. Job done. Maybe not the Angling Trust now. He's quite diversified.
Mushroom Trust.
Yeah, the Mushroom Trust, the Wild Mushroom Trust. It's got to be one. Bucket list, destination and species. You've done a lot. What's still on there? Fishing this is, mate.
Bucket list. Oh, I want to catch a tuna from the ocean and have sashimi.
Yeah.
Like fresh sushi. I want to be on a boat, catch a tuna.
I've got it. And then
fillet it. I want to do the whole filleting thing, like, because it's so much fun, like slicing the fish with a sharp knife. And then sashimi, sushi, just eat it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's doable.
I could do that still, yeah.
Mushroom picking or carp angling? You got a choice now. What are you going?
Mushrooms.
What mushroom would you like to pick?
Morel mushrooms.
Good old Morel. Absolute bangers, I've heard.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at mushrooms, mate.
Morels are the best. Well, I've only ever found one, but those mushroom people out there will know what I mean. Morels are much sought after species.
The Shroom gang are on them, mate, are they?
Yeah.
Person you'd like to collaborate with?
I want to collab with my brother again.
Do you? Is that a sarcastic answer?
I don't know whether that was sarcastic or not. I kind of do.
I don't know when you're.
I like meeting up with my brother now and going fishing. Because when I was with him the whole time, it was like just normal. But now it's quite fun. It's like
a treat.
Yeah, it's a treat.
What about outside of your brother?
collab like YouTube channels?
Yeah,
like,
it could be anyone. It could be a celebrity. It could be anyone.
Not fishing or anything.
Yeah, no, not fishing. No, yeah.
I would quite like to collab with someone on YouTube called Googa Foods. He's a channel which makes videos about eating really nice steak and meat.
Ooh, yeah, he sounds decent.
And if I collabed with him, it would mean I could probably eat and cook some really nice steak.
Get some Wagyu steaks in here, boy. Get him in.
Yeah, he loves the old Wagyu steaks.
I do the old salt-based stuff for you. That'll be good. Job done.
Mm-hmm.
Drum and bass or country and western? I think I know the answer.
Drum and bass.
Still listen to a bit of drum and bass?
Not much.
You got into the old rave scene at one point, though, didn't you? You were a bit of a raver.
I mean, I was a full-time raver throughout my early 20s. No, I've never been much of a party head, but I do like the odd drum and bass
7-day festival in the field.
No, I'm not that wild.
Best angler at Nash during your time? Oh,
Me.
days. Oh, you've gone the me card.
No, it wasn't. I just said that for a joke. Alan, probably. I always thought he was the best angler in the world.
Good save. The job offer's still there. Favourite food, mate? If you had to pick a meal right now, what would it be?
Banh mi. It's like this.
My silence was.
It's a Vietnamese sandwich with pork belly, which has been like cooked in cinnamon spices, and it's like pulled pork almost, and then it's got some cucumbers, chili, spring onion, coriander, some mayonnaise, and sweet chili sriracha sauce.
Oh, that is making me hungry.
Oh gosh, it's good.
Yeah, that sounds good. Nice choice. I'll call it one of those Vietnamese sandwich things, though, mate. What's it called?
A banh mi.
Barnaby. I thought you meant Barna from our videography team.
Oh, yeah, Barnaby.
One venue, one species, one method. You going fishing? What are you doing?
One what, and one what?
Venue, one species, one method.
Venue, the ocean.
Any ocean?
No, just this Atlantic.
Okay. What species?
Bass, sea bass.
Nice
bass.
method.
Top water lure fishing.
Top water, yeah, it's mega in it.
Yeah.
Nice. Your proudest moment?
When I smashed a massive sheet of ice over my head and it just broke apart and made an epic sound.
Is that the proudest moment you've ever had in your life?
Possibly.
To date?
Possibly, yeah.
Incredible scenes.
It's on a YouTube video if you want to see it.
Yeah?
It was epic.
As long as you're happy, mate. I love it. That's all we can be. Last question. Night out on the bank, night sleeping in the wild, or night in with the missus of your choice?
Night sleeping in with the missus.
Nice.
Sounds quite nice.
Is there a Mrs. Smith on the scene? Oh, this is big.
This is there.
There is, isn't there?
No.
He's gone very... Look at that face.
No, there has been something going on.
Call off Tinder. Oh, my God. The boys have gone. Both of them now. Jeez Louise, mate. She's a lucky, lucky girl. You're going to cook... What's it called? Barn Summit. What's it called?
Banh mi.
Banh mi.
Yeah.
Nice. Good on you, mate. Well done. Once again, thank you guys for watching and listening. Alex, thank you for coming in, mate. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. We will definitely chat after this as well, and we could reminisce around the site. And I will see you guys next time with another Nash Off the Hook podcast. Until then, Alex Smith, Just Alex, follow his channel. Big love, mate. Thank you very much.